What is going on? How y'all doing? I know I set this stream up for 11 o'clock last night. Unfortunately, after I watched Dynamite, I got distracted by other things, and I just got too tired to do the stream. So, I'm here now. I'm here live to talk about this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. This is going to be, an effective but brief review because I do have friends who are waiting to video chat me in about 15 minutes or so. So this will, be effective but brief. I thought this week's episode of Dynamite was pretty good. I didn't realize, of course, the last day we're actually just a little over a week away from the second ever AEW Double or Nothing pay-per-view. The show where it all began. It was a great night, of course, and I look forward to seeing them do the same thing next Saturday as well. May 23rd, 2020. So, of course, we'll have preview and predictions for that. So let's get rolling right into the show. I thought we had more things set up for Dynamite for sure. Of course, we continue the storyline, of course, where Mr. Brodie Lee did steal Jon Moxley's AEW World Title, and he's going around and calling himself the self-proclaimed one as well. We of course have shoot, one thing there. Oh yeah, we kind of had the match set up for the AEW Women's Title, and also a nice feud for the women as well was set up as well in that Fatal 4-Way. So let's get rolling into talk about the show. SmackDown's not good. I know, Tyler. I'm probably not going to be able to watch SmackDown tonight. And I'm going to definitely watch NXT while I'm FaceTime my friends. And I'll review NXT after we get the FaceTime. So, yeah, let's roll and let's talk about this show. The show opens up with a really nice promo. Lance Archer comes out and brings a young sort of jobber to the ring with him and kicks the crap out of him, and then Jake the Snake Roberts comes in behind him. Says as soon as Brandi Rhodes kisses his ass, she'll get an apology. And the ring is their playhouse. As far as he's concerned, a woman is great at home. Cooking, wiping babies' butts, diapering them, and occasionally, when it's very cold outside, she can keep him warm. He has a woman that comes and sees him and makes sure he watches Lance's work because it makes him very excited. How excited, Jake? We'll see. Then he tells Cody Rhodes, time is about up. You can't hide behind your brother anymore. No excuses, it's time to play the piper. The sound of an engine revving interrupts Roberts, and we see Cody Rhodes behind the wheel of a giant truck. Hits the gas, he drives through the barricade, and near the stage. He gets out, and him and Archer start going at it. Cody starts off with a good advantage with a low blow and starts bringing punches, but he gets distracted heading for Roberts, and Lance just melees him over some chairs and into a table. Jay calls him free meat, but Cody ducks a lariat and hits punches on punches, and they're all going for Archer's head. He slides into the ring, lands on his feet on the apron off a choke slam attempt, but then Lance sweeps his leg out underneath him. He imposes for the crowd, but Cody chokes him with his own braid. In the ring, he throws a chair at Archer, but Archer just shrugs it off and just destroys Cody with a boot. Sets him up, and he slips out of blackout, and then the EBD claw denied. A Cody cutter was blocked, but then Roberts decides discretion is the better part of Valor and heals back out of the ring. So a nice beatdown there. Again, I still think this Cody and Archer match is going to be match of the night. I think that's going to steal the show at Double or Nothing. It has the most long-term build to it ever since Archer stepped into AEW a couple months ago. What else has he got? It's just been a very well-built story, very anticipated match for basically the mid-card title for AEW, the TNT Championship, which I think will definitely be a great addition. I still see Archer winning it, but I definitely have really enjoyed the story with Archer and Cody Rhodes. They've really made Archer out to be a monster, and I've enjoyed it, and I definitely, again, that's probably the match I'm probably most excited for when it comes to Double or Nothing. On top of course, Brodie Lee and Jon Moxley. I know that they could tear it up. They had a couple good street fights when they were both in WWE. Whenever Mr. Brodie Lee was Luke Harper and under the bad spell of Vincent Kennedy McMahon, and Dean Ambrose was doing such good shit. But yeah, so great opening promo. I enjoyed. We had a good match between best friends Chuck Taylor and Trent and Jurassic Express's Jungle Boy Jack Perry and Luchasaurus. During the match, though, Rey Fenix comes out of nowhere to kick Orange Cassidy's head off. So I don't know why that happened there. MJF then attacked Jungle Boy, who he will be taking on at Double or Nothing, putting him into the post before throwing him in the ring. And then Best Friends capitalize with an awful waffle from Taylor onto Jungle Boy Jack Perry. And afterwards, Wardlow throws Marco's stunt hard into the barricade. Luchasaurus checks on his fun-sized pal, as says here on Cage Side. We then see an interviewer try to catch up with Moxley on his way to the arena. But, of course, Moxley's pissed because, again, Mr. Brodie Lee has his title. So, he shoves his way past him. He shows the cameraman. He's a man on a mission. He wants that championship back. Again, this is actually the cool Jon Moxley I want to see, not the Jon Moxley, germs, you smell, whatnot we got WWE. But, we had a really nice Fatal 4-Way match. Dr. Britt Baker versus Hikaru Shida versus Chris Statlander and Penelope Ford. Of course, not Nia Jax. Not in AEW. Nyla Rose was at ringside. We had a really good back and forth match. But obviously the winner of this match was going to be Hikaru Shida, who pinned up Penelope Ford, who was definitely the one to take the pin in this match. And Hikaru Shida is definitely the number one contender, so she's obviously the next one to be set up. But I did like they kind of set up for another match with the women, another feud between Dr. Britt Baker and Chris Statlander. Like, towards the end of the match, Statlander hits an electric chair, takes out Penelope with right knees, Poison Frankensteiner, but then Britt takes Statlander to the floor and puts her into the post and hits like a lockjaw, and she just stays there. She doesn't even bother going after Hikaru Shida, which I'm surprised. Like, she wants to be the champ and whatnot, but she literally just like put a vicious lockjaw in on Statlander, setting up, and it was announced afterwards we were going to have a match between Britt Baker and Chris Statlander. I'm sorry, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Chris Statlander at Double or Nothing. Great feud, especially with again, how much Dr. Britt Baker is taken off. I mean, to me, it's obvious it could be Hikaru Shida, but once a babyface takes that title off of Nyla Rose, I think Britt Baker's immediately getting that championship. No doubt about it, she's definitely been the best thing in the women's division for sure. Like, she should be champion. I agree completely. So I guess that'll probably be a good feud to give her something to do and give her a good spotlight at Double or Nothing. She actually did win the first women's match, I believe, at Double or Nothing last year when it was Nyla Rose, Awesome Kong, Kylie Ray, and Britt Baker. But of course, this is where things are going to get more serious because she's really, seasoned out this heel character for her really well. So we got that. Then we get a video package for Pineapple Pete where he talks about his rivalry with Chris Jericho. Then Ortiz and Santana attack Kenny Omega for their scheduled tag match. But then Matt Hardy comes out and cuts Santana off on the stage. And he bit him and threw him into the entry. So we have a match with Omega and Matt Hardy versus Santana and Ortiz. Not a bad match at all, of course. Eventually, Omega and Hardy did win with an Avalanche Ace Crusher from Hardy onto Ortiz, obviously getting his comeuppance on the Inner Circle after what happened last week. Of course, Inner Circle struck back a little bit later on. Then afterwards, we had an interview. Taz trying to interview Darby Allin again, who didn't want to talk last week. But this time, Darby stands up and explains that he's an experienced amateur wrestler, and he storms off. Don't know what that's set up for. And of course, then Hikaru Shida and Nyla Rose was made official for Double or Nothing. Sheeta talks about how the best thing she can do is win the title, and she's going to beat Nyla. But then Nyla wins and says, "Congrats, and I got your present." Whips her with a kendo stick and nails her with it, explaining that says, "I found your kendo stick, bitch!" Pretty much. MJF had his first match in several weeks. He squashed Lee Johnson. Afterwards, he gets on a microphone and apologizes for his peers, not knowing how to react to a professional wrestler. He's excited for his pay-per-view match against Jungle Boy at Double or Nothing, even though I feel like I'm definitely thinking this is not going to be as good as Cody and MJF, but, we'll see. But he's got some real ring rust, and he feels stiff. Isn't that right, Lee? He walked into the arena this morning and saw that Marco Stunt has an open contract for a match, and he signed it. Tell Stunt to get ready, because they're going to have a lot of fun. He drops his catchphrase, of course, because he goes, "I'm better than you." Waits for Warlord to put his diamond ring on his finger, and you know it. Sick. Can't wait to see what he does next. Chris Jericho then squashes Pineapple Pete. Afterwards, we got my favorite part of the show. Jericho gets on the mic and says that now that the threat of Pineapple Pete has been vanquished, it's time to move on to the Inner Circle versus the Elite. If indeed the Elite is even a thing. Half their guys haven't been on TV for 2 months. It's just, the Young Bucks and Hangman and Page haven't been around. With Adam Page out picking berries and the Young Bucks stuck on their couches. But they're honorable. And that's why they're going to give the Elite a chance to get their shit together and face the Inner Circle one last time. While the world reacts to COVID-19, the Inner Circle is writing history, and that's why they've created the Stadium Stampede match. And what is that? If you thought last week's street fight was wild and woolly, imagine what could happen in an 80,000-seat football stadium. It'll be a Double or Nothing. If the Elite accept the challenge, and they'll wait all night for a response. Then Vanguard 1 flies in. And he's carrying that Inner Circle shirt that Jericho gave Vanguard 1. Jericho says, "You got a lot of guts showing up after what you pulled," and he reclaims the Inner Circle shirt. He asks the drone for the Elite's answer, which the Elite accepts. So we're going to get this the Stadium Stampede match, which will be pretty good. Probably to replace the War Games match at Blood and Guts that we were supposed to get. That got canceled, of course. Chris then asks his decision to join the Inner Circle before refusing an invitation and introducing the real 6th member of the Inner Circle. Chris Jericho pulls out a baseball bat. That's the 6th member of the Inner Circle. He says, "This Vanguard 1 is Floyd." Yes, Chris Jericho has a baseball bat, and he named it Floyd. And Floyd has a message for you. BAM! Jericho takes Floyd and starts whacking the heck out of Vanguard 1, smash him into pieces. They put boots to asses to him, and then Matt Hardy comes out to try to save him, but it's too late. Vanguard 1, rest in peace. Of course, if anybody had taps right now, we've been playing taps to honor Vanguard. Actually, let's take a brief moment of silence to remember the great faithful one of the Hardy compound, Vanguard 1. I wish I would have actually brought up taps for this. Thank you. Anyway, so moving on now. So Floyd destroys Vanguard 1, and I'm sure Floyd will be used, and they'll probably have some type of resurrection of Vanguard 1 in the Stadium Stampede match, which honestly also could be matched tonight, but I'm still thinking Cody and Archer is going to be the one to steal the show that night. But we'll have to wait and see. Then we're back, and we're then informed that the Women's World Championship match at Double or Nothing is now no disqualification, no count. So weapons will be used. I look forward to seeing that. And then we also get a recap of Brodie Lee challenging Moxley to the title last week and stealing the belt. Of course, what Moxley said, if you want a match, all you had to do was ask, which again, I hate that thing. Then Brodie Lee took on Christopher Daniels. But he also was insistent on being announced as the self-proclaimed AEW World Champion, when he's not. Although, once again, Brodie Lee thinks he can do whatever he wants, because he's Vince, you know. He takes on Christopher Daniels. Obviously, a long history of Christopher Daniels in the Dark Order. Brodie Lee wins with a discus lariat. Afterwards, though, more of the Dark Order come in and beat down. But then out comes Jon Moxley. Comes out, he starts taking Dark Order's goons out. He hits the ring, drops one with a lariat. Then Lee throws another in. Paradigm shift. Brodie and number 10 leave in the belt, and Moxley paces around, putting boots to the guys left in the ring. Moxley then says, "You can admire guts and seizing the opportunity," but he doesn't suffer disrespect, and he will not suffer fools. He calls Brodie Lee out and says he made a very foolish decision and he'll pay for it dearly with interest. The AEW World Championship is about a lot more than a piece of metal, and he's going to find that out at Double or Nothing on May 23rd. There will be a hailstorm of violence when the dust settles, Mr. Brodie Lee. He may very well find that your AEW career is over before it even started. He goes to the floor and throws the Dark Order goons that he left laying over the barricade. And that's how the show ends. Very good stuff. Rest in peace, Vanguard 1. He only watches AEW. I hope this virus goes away in the summer. I hope. I don't think Brodie Lee's ready to take the title off. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think if anybody, MJF should be the one at maybe All Out to take the title off of Moxley. I'm saying MJF. That's who it should be, because he's just too good of a heel. Brodie Lee maybe will get his chance, even though once again he doesn't want to have to be world champion. He just wants to be in some type of effective storyline, which he is. That's gonna do it, guys. Again, I'm gonna get off quickly because I'm supposed to be FaceTiming with my friends right around now. I got distracted with came in the mail today, my Harry Potter game, which I'll talk about that later. After I've talked to my friends for a couple hours, I will watch NXT while I do so, and then after that, I'll come back up here and review NXT. Probably tomorrow I'll review SmackDown, but and then continue my Harry Potter Let's Play. So guys, that's gonna do it for Dynamite. Give it a B+. What are your thoughts on Dynamite this week? Yeah, leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Be sure as always to slap a like on the video, subscribe or comment on my channel, follow me on Twitter at DemandAirBarney3, and as always, guys, make sure to stay tuned for more content to come, and I'll check it out. I'll see you guys hopefully later on tonight when I review NXT. So tell you guys, have a great night, enjoy your Friday evening, peace out, everybody.